Good evening, good evening.
And we have a special guest with us. He's visiting from the United States. He's a professional basketball player, Sterling Manley.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Welcome to the Cayman Islands. You liking it so far?
I'm liking it so far, man. I ain't seen a person without a smile on their face, so that's a good feeling.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And of course you know these faces, right?
Yeah, Justin and Josh, my boys.
All right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna shoot it back to the studio for a break, and then we'll come back and we're gonna have a nice chat. All right. So stay tuned for more Sports Extra in a minute.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. If you're just tuning in, we have Justin Collins and Joshua Ogaro, along with U.S. professional basketball player Sterling Manley in the studio with us. Gentlemen, once again, good evening.
Good evening,
Right, it's really good to have you guys on board. Come a little closer to your mics. Don't be afraid of the mic.
Got you.
Who are we going to start with today?
Star man.
Sterling. I'm a stateside kid. I can sing it. That's all right.
That's all right. Well, let's start with you then, Sterling. Tell us, let's start by telling the people of the Cayman Islands a little bit about yourself and your journey to what brought you to where you are today.
Got you. So I'm from Ohio, originally Columbus, Ohio to be exact. And after high school, I was blessed to go play at North Carolina, one of the renowned schools in the States for NCAA basketball. And they were just coming off a championship in 2017 when I had graduated from high school. So I did 4 years there. nothing short of an amazing experience. And then after I played in North Carolina, went through the draft process, went undrafted, and then played summer league for Chicago Bulls. And after I had my stint with Chicago Bulls, I went over to China and played in the CBA. And now I'm in the Cayman Islands living the Viva Loca life. So
Island boy.
Real right now.
Is this your first time in the Cayman Islands?
Yeah, this is my first time in the Caymans, man.
Cool.
This is the first time in the Caymans. So, like I said, being around the people and just, the weather and just that island cool, there ain't nothing like it. Just everything is kind of slower paced, and you just kind of like get into your own thoughts and really just reflect back on, where you've come and what you've done, and being around good hospitality people. Like I said earlier, I mean,
everyone greeted you with a smile. That's called the Cayman kindness.
Yes,
all right?
yes.
I'm glad you experienced that at first hand. That's wonderful.
For sure, and it seems very authentic, so I love that.
Yeah, that's what the island is about. That's
yes.
And Josh and Justin can tell you all about that, huh? Yeah. You all asked him. I heard you guys asking him off air if he's hit the beach yet.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah, I did. So I went to the great, event that's sponsored by Consulus, King of Wings. And then after, I got my wing on, and I got my feet, my toes in the sand, and had to be on my island cool. So man, that water is so beautiful. I mean, just being out there with just seeing the people, and like, you can go to Florida, you can go to LA and California, different things. Have the
water,
and just it's not like
different.
overly crowded. Like you can have your space and just be in your
it's
own
warm.
lane.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect,
Awesome.
and the water like cools you off too. So I was in heaven.
Nice. I like that. What about you, gentlemen? What have you guys been up to? I know you guys just came from training. How's that been coming along? It's good that you guys are back from college now, and you are still on the court. You're working out, keeping in shape for when the new season starts. How's that been coming along for you, Justin?
For me, every time I come back home from college, it's been a blessing. I've always been working out with Tico. I was supposed to be DeAndre too, but he's taking a little break. But every time I come home, like I said, I'm always working out almost every day, trying to push myself potential. Get that spot on the roster. Get everything going for me. I mean, I got a lot of dreams to chase. I just want it to come true. So
awesome. I like that. Joshua?
Yeah, I've been working out a lot. You could say maybe about I lift in the afternoon, work out in the morning, and then work out in the nights again on most days. But I haven't been home for about 3 years since this break. Just because of COVID.
Right.
And a year just didn't come back from school. But it was nice to come home. I haven't seen a lot of people.
You felt the Cayman kindness again, too.
Yeah, I felt the Cayman kindness again. Smiles everywhere. I went to the beach a lot. I've been fishing a lot also recently. Just going to the docks and tossing my line. I love fishing a lot, but I don't think fishing loves me.
Okay.
I haven't caught anything yet.
Okay.
But soon, though. Soon.
All right.
I have a week left, so
all right.
I think I should catch something by then.
Okay, sounds good. You have a week left, so let's see. Maybe you can catch me some fish and bring it for Radio Cayman staff.
Yeah,
We'd appreciate that very much.
Some barracuda.
If he's lucky. All right. All right. Let's get down to business. Sterling, previously you mentioned you played in Chicago. And of course in China. Tell us a little bit about those experiences, especially in Chicago. Let's hear about that first.
So after the draft, everybody tries to get picked up, for summer league and stuff.
Yes.
You talk with a lot of teams. I worked out for the Cavs, Houston, Charlotte, the Bulls, and just being able to get your name out there through that draft process. But then it's after the fact, because summer league starts maybe a week or so after draft. So the teams will bring you in maybe a week and a half before you head out to Vegas, and then sometimes you'll practice out in Vegas as well. So I went back home for the draft, and then the Bulls called me up the day after the draft, and they was and my boy Kobe White played with him at Carolina. He's on the Bulls right now.
I thought you were going to say Kobe Bryant. I got scared.
no, RP, man, so great. No, Kobe White, he's playing with the Bulls, and they had asked, I was like, man, you think he'll be a good player, for our summer league? And he was like, what? No question. So then their GM had called my agent, and my agent had called me and said, would you like to play for Chicago Bulls for summer league? And I was like, no doubt. So then that next day I flew out to Chicago, practiced there for a couple days. So what they really try to do is, so they have Coach Donovan, he was coming from OKC, if I'm not mistaken, at the time, and he was taking over. That was his first year. So with Summer League, they'll try to look at guys to see. Summer League is all based off of trying to see who fits their roster. They're not worried about filling out their G League team or anything like that. They're saying who fits best for their roster. So usually coaches will try to put in a little bit of their philosophies for the team, and then they'll try to, play around to see what stuff they'll be using during the season. So the biggest thing when you get to your training camp, or I would say training camp before Summer League, is they're just trying to see your abilities, but at the same time, they're trying to see what is going to fit for the system for the season. Right. So you're like almost like a guinea pig a little bit. So it's cool, being able to be in front of those guys, but being able to play in front of top talent. I mean, there's all walks of life. You can see a guy who was at a low major D1 school and a guy who was player of the conference and the Big 12, and are y'all all coming together and rubber meets the road. So it's kind of like surreal being in that moment where you're just around all different type of walks of life. So then after you maybe train for like about 3 to 4 days at your organization, whether it's Chicago, whatever team you're playing for, then you'll head out to Vegas. You maybe practice once or twice, and then it's go time. So you have about 5 games, and everybody pretty much plays for the most part, but sometimes you may not play the first couple games, and they'll get you in on the back end, and then you just kind of showcase your skills and go from there. It's almost like it's like a blitz. It's like a 2-week blitz.
Yeah, and you just have to do your best and try to be seen.
For sure. That's the biggest thing. It's like you want to, create relationships, create friendships, but at the same time, you're trying to take a job, and you got other people who have families to feed and different things, so you have to take it serious, and you just have to, for one, I'm very a present guy. I like to be in the present of things and like to enjoy the moment. So, but at the same time, I realize how important it is and how blessed I am to be on this type of stage, because like I said, only the 1% make it from high school to college, and only 1% make it from college to the pros. Right. So being able to be in that class and, just taking it serious and, getting the most out of the opportunities and what the gifts that God's blessed me with.
Awesome. How tall are you?
7 foot on the dot.
All right, 7 foot on the dot. That's incredible. What position do you play?
Center.
You're a center for sure.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, basketball is positionless now, but
of course,
that would have to category.
That actually led to my next question, because I know with Steph Curry highlighting, more than ever the aspect of shooting in the game of basketball. Do you think credit is being given to post players, or you think teams are valuing the importance of centers anymore?
For sure. I mean, for instance, I guess if you take it back, not this past NBA season, but the NBA season before, Giannis was the one who took home the championship. Yeah. He's a 7-foot Greek god, so he was the one who people had to knock off the top of the mountain. And then if you go into the bubble, when the Lakers played, they had JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and all those different type of guys. So you need some type of inside presence to win. And just with the Warriors this year, they were able to have with Looney. He was an inside presence. He worked well for the system, somebody to hold down the paint, whether it's a team effort or it's 1 or 2 guys, holding it down. You need a good post player. But it's definitely positionless basketball now. So being able to, as a big, you have to be able to expand your game. You can't just be one-dimensional, back to the basket, rebound, run. You have to be able to stretch the floor. Not saying you have to shoot the deep three like Steph, but you have to be able to be a threat where people respect you, because nowadays they're not just respecting somebody who just sits in the paint. They're like, okay, cool, you sit in the paint, well, we're just not going to guard you like that, or they're going to play somebody else. So a lot of teams like to be able to stretch the floor, especially, like I said, I went out and worked out with the Warriors and played against Steph a few times, and everybody from top to finish is shooting, but they put a lot of work in to shoot it as well. So you can't just come across like, oh, I want to be a shooter and I don't want to stretch. You have to put that work in behind it. But definitely with positionless basketball nowadays, you have to have more than one skill set.
And what you find now, kids are waking up and just wanting to be Steph and not realizing that Steph did a lot of work to get to where he is right now.
For sure.
And that's exactly what I know you had a camp that you visited last week, and what was that like for you?
It was good. That's Josh's grandfather. He the OG of the island, so OG of the island. So being able to be around that energy and stuff. It's being around kids that really want to learn and get better, and you can see they're just trying to attach themselves to somebody to teach them good basketball and care. And I love seeing the younger generation, because I know how I was when I was a kid. I was always going to my high school camps, and then where my dad had played college, I would always go to his camp every year. And then if I was blessed enough to go to any other college camps, it was like a little icing on on the cake. So seeing those kids, I remember myself at those moments, and those camps are so important, because it's stuff that you take for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So those fundamentals, the experience, the people you walk to, whatever. You like, man, I remember when so and so came, and I'll be 40 years old, and that kid I saw at the camp between now, like, yeah, man, I remember you came to the camp. So those moments, are priceless. So being able to be in the presence of that and enjoy those kids, I'll do it all over again.
What do you think, Sterling, separates you from other 7-footers on the court?
I think the biggest thing with me is what I can add on and off the court. You know, being an all-around person, but being an all-around player. I'm not just one-dimensional. You put me on the defense end, I play above the square. I can block shots. You know, I'm a hard worker. I run out of the ball, and then you give me the ball on the offensive end. I can make decisions. I'm a great passer, nice touch around the basket, and then continue to expand my game to the three, having a good shot. So I'm not just – you can't just box me into one play. Whatever style of play the coach wants, I can fit it in play.
Last year, you had the opportunity to play with Sterling Joshua. Right?
Yes,
and against him as well?
I think we did go against
Couple times.
What was that like?
More teammates.
What was that like for you?
It was pretty good. Good experience. I did get better. I learned a lot of things about my game, about Sterling's game, just about basketball in general. I feel like when you have someone like Sterling's size and length and ability, he could jump, and he's not just like a standing big where you can't move. Like, he can move. So if I go up for a shot, I got to finish the ball properly, or else he's going to send it back.
Send it all the way downtown.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where...
Send it all the way downtown.
It's one of those things where, it makes you think the game more. It's like, okay, I can't just drive like I want to drive and finish it. I got to put it all over about the square where his hands can't even tip it.
Right.
So
it helps you get creative as well, because now you realize I can't, you can't post up or play your game because he's so tall, right? So you have to make different moves now around the basket to get the ball in the hoop without getting blocked, without getting tossed all the way down the court. Yeah. Justin, did you experience playing against Stanley yet?
I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Joshua, how tall are you?
Me, 6'6". On the dot.
And Justin, how tall are you?
6'1", but 6'2" on a good day. Good day with the hair.
We're gonna have some runs.
Yeah.
Sure.
Stanley will probably come in and play, so it'll be fun.
Tell us a little bit about your experience, where you're at in college, and what's been happening for you this season.
So me coming in since my freshman year, for me, I always wanted to be an underdog. Coming in, I just thought whoever's in front of me, I want to take their spot.
Of course.
Me, a small kid coming from the Cayman Islands, you don't have a name to yourself like that because we're small over here. So, basically all I can do is put the work in as I got in, and for me to really show my coach that I deserve a spot on this team and I deserve a spot in general wherever I'm at. But throughout my freshman year, through sophomore year, junior year, it's been a tough struggle. I can't lie. I mean, I've been working out every day. I don't give up on myself. I always put myself first, no matter what. I love my teammates wherever I'm at, and I show love to my teammates. There's no hate towards the team or nothing, so I support any coach, whatever system we got. I trust my coaches. I love my coaches because they push me to my potential. They say it's the same. I'm pretty sure Sterling knows, Josh knows that. It's the same. It's scary when your coach ain't talking to you no more. And that's when it's time to get out of here,
Is that your situation?
No, that's not my situation.
Okay.
That'll never be my situation. Okay. I'll never make it.
But
it
is scary.
It is scary for kids that don't know.
Before, so I know.
It's been for me, it's just like I said, just really just putting the work in. Every time I come home, like I said, it's like I got people looking at me, people that looking up to me and everything. I got to support family and everything, so I got to do this.
All right. So what's your season been like?
So I ain't gonna lie, last season was probably our worst season.
That's okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
Better days are ahead.
It was our worst season because it was a brand new fresh team, and we were all getting the screws together. It was like I'm saying, we were just trying to find our juices and everything, see what all of us can do. I think our big point moving forward for next season is pretty much buying in to the process of what our coaches want and everything, and actually being disciplined and putting the work in on and off the court. Without this key point, we all know that education is really important. I think for me, coming out of high school at Santa Clarita, I was actually, being honest, I was struggling.
Right.
But for me, I put a big step in that, and now I have almost a 3.0. And
awesome.
I'm thriving. So
congratulations, because it's difficult to be studying.
It's hard.
It's
hard. At the end of the day, they say it's all mental.
Yes.
So as long as you just really set your mind to it, you can do anything, to be honest. So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
I know y'all got a good curriculum here because I done seen these cathedral high schools y'all working with, and there ain't nothing like where I come from. I'm like, y'all got college campus. I mean, I don't know the grade system if y'all go 8 through 12 or if it's, but I've been looking at the high schools. I'm like, man, I gotta have some type of good education.
There's no like middle school.
Yeah. Straight through.
Straight
through.
Anymore.
Primary.
We used to have the middle school.
Oh yeah, anymore. As soon as you come out of primary school, that's like
Georgians.
elementary. You go straight from
Way back in
year
the day.
7 to year 11. It's just like there's no grade 12. It's year 11.
Got you. Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
that
from year
makes sense.
7 to
Okay,
year
so that
11.
makes sense then with the high schools being so big. Because I was like, man, this is ridiculous.
And I'm happy we're on the topic of education. I know that's pretty important in playing college basketball. How are you guys balancing? I mean, you mentioned it. How are you balancing book and ball?
I feel like I'm doing fairly well. Certain classes, that I'd find specifically harder for me. I feel as though just kind of like you just got to put more effort into it. For example, like I'm not all that great at math.
Okay.
So for math, I'll be like, okay, I need to go
Put more
in
emphasis there.
and put more emphasis there so I could, get a good B or something on it. Sorry, everybody strive for an A. But so I can get a good B on it.
You're right.
And like just pass and have, good GPA.
Mm-hmm.
Some teachers would look out for you if you're good. Let's say you have an away game or something and you can't turn in the work. Some teachers would give you leeway, say, okay, well, when you have the time, you can turn it in. And other teachers won't. So you just got to know which teachers you could, which teachers would help you and put a hand out for you. Other than that, I feel like it's not easy, but it's not really, really hard.
Okay.
You just got to be focused when it comes to schoolwork. And there's always resources there to help you.
Right.
Especially if you're an athlete, you could ask. Even you can ask your coaches if you're struggling.
The athletes always get away, don't we? Yeah.
I ain't no lie.
I know the guys did. I know the guys did. The guys, when I went to college, I went to SPC, St. Petersburg College, and the guys got away with everything. The women didn't, because most of my teachers were female. So I'm not going to get away with anything. But the guys got away with everything. They got passing grades and they didn't even pass. Okay. So do you guys get that kind of luck as well? Do you get that kind of luck, Sterling? Yes, you did.
Ain't no question.
Maybe Sterling Manley.
Carolina is a different breed when it comes to sports, especially basketball.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, like they were saying, there's a lot of resources. My major was media journalism.
Okay.
So
Nice.
the two schools at Carolina where you have to get accepted into for majors is the media, the journalism school, and the business school. If you have those 2 degrees, you can take them to the bank and be okay. So I wanted to challenge myself, on the education piece, and do something where you have to get accepted and be a part of, brother sisterhood type of thing. So that's where I kind of got my major in. So it was a lot of writing and stuff, a lot of broadcasting, different things. So when it's all said and done, I can be able to transition into something if I want to use that and put that pen to paper. But definitely they have a lot of resources for us, education wise. I mean, it'd be long days. I mean, I can go through a day. I guess it'd be so depending on if you got class in the morning, or if you don't have class in the morning, usually you may have an 8 a.m., 9 a.m. So you have an 8 a.m. and the 8 a.m. go to about like 9:15, and then you have maybe a 9:30 to about 10:45, 9:30 to about like 10:45, and then you might have a third class, but you could have a little break in between. So I'll say by the time you're done with all your classes, because they would put all ours in the morning, you probably finish up your day around about 1:32, but you have practice by 3:30, but you want to get a little work in. So then we would have a 45-minute lift before you get a little work in. Practice go from 3:30 to about 5:36 on a good day. Coaches and ranting, and we're able to get through it smoothly. Then after that, they'll usually have meals prepared for us after practice. So we'll go on to like one of our little meal room. You eat, but then you have 2 tutoring sessions. So by the time you get done with your 2 tutor sessions, that's up the hill. So you either walk or you catch a ride or you catch the bus. So you got tutoring sessions from 8 to 9. You have 1, 9 to 10. Then after you finish that, then that's your day, and then this will kind of repeat. So you pretty much kind of going all day. So they have the resources, but it's not an easy task.
Right.
But once you can kind of find your system and what's conducive for your lifestyle and how you learn and how you get better basketball-wise, and you can balance it too, I think, that's the biggest thing. But I would say one thing, and this might sound a little backwards, I do love education, but when you are there, you kind of have to like focus on your sport just because you're there for a reason. If you don't go there and you perform in your sport, they can pass you up. So you want to be able to lock in on your sport, and then at the same time, because if you go there and you completely don't do anything, okay, yes, they're going to fail you.
Right.
But they're going to push you enough on the education piece to where you're going to be able to get by, get through, and you're going to continue. And then as you get older, you get more advanced. It's like, okay, what was hard for you freshman year isn't going to be hard for you junior and senior year.
Yes.
So it's like you continue to grow on that, but you got to continue to progress your game as well and find that happy medium. I'm not saying it's easy, but you definitely have to find that happy medium so you can stay above the ball.
Most definitely. Thank you for that information. I'm sure that was helpful for you guys.
Nah.
But we're going to stick a pin and take a short break. We'll be back with more Sports Extra in a minute.
Bro, I don't know about that 8 a.m. It was 6. After you just clap.
Sorry. All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. Just in case you're now tuning in, we have Justin Collins with us, college athlete, basketball player at Cal State LA. And we have Joshua Ogaro, he's at San Jose. All right, also in LA. All right, sounds good. And we have United States professional basketball player Sterling Manley in the studio with us, and they're all sharing their experiences, their different experiences. And I would like to know from Sterling, who do you emulate your game after? Or do you have your own style? It's okay as well.
Nah. That's the one thing, playing ball, you definitely want to be a student of the game,
Right.
being able to watch the game and digest it and finding guys that where you can emulate off of, that where you still want to have your own unique game, but somewhere where you can kind of like pick and choose. And I'll have to say like tenacity and how he was relentless, Kevin Garnett, but really style to play LaMarcus Aldridge.
Okay.
Just how he has that mid-post game, being able to shoot the jumper, he can push the ball. He's not one-dimensional. He can shoot the three. He has about like a 35-inch vertical just like me. So his game and his skill set definitely is somebody like I kind of look up to or kind of try to emulate and take, pieces and bits. And then, a guy like Tim Duncan, just very fundamentally sound, being able to use the glass and being able to, he was a man amongst boys a lot of times, but he went about his business. You couldn't get a reaction out of him. He was very steadfast in what he did. So I'll probably have to say those three guys for sure.
Sounds good. What about you two other gentlemen? What's your position in college?
Point guard, shooting guard.
So
for me,
yeah.
Gotta go with Damian Lillard. Gotta go with Damian Lillard. That's my favorite player ever. He's the best player. Right, he's smacking Jordan in the one-on-one. I'm telling you.
What?
I'm telling you, he's taking Jordan in the one-on-one.
I don't know about that.
Jordan got to pick him up full court. It's over with. I'm telling you.
That's the thing, bro. Jordan playing defense. Dame not playing defense like that.
Dame is playing defense.
Dame not getting no stops.
He rocked the baby on you. Anything. Stop
He's
playing.
not getting no stops. But all right.
But no, I really mirror my game after Damian Lillard, to be honest. I watch him a lot. I watch a lot of, I know the kids be watching the Warriors, Jordan Poole, too.
I love
he's
Jordan
on the come
Poole
up.
too. Yes, he is.
For us guards, it's kind of like staying on your toes. You got to have a little, especially at my height, 6'1", 6'2", you got to have a little to you, like a little shift.
Right.
So,
I thought you were going to say Steph Curry because you're one of our greatest shooters here in Cayman.
I love Steph. I respect Steph.
Yeah.
Greatest shooter all time, hands down. But I think I'm not saying I'm not gonna mirror my game after Steph because I am a shooter, but I'm also like I know I love the 3 ball and everything.
Right.
3 is better than 2, but you know a lot of kids these days go straight up and say, "Oh, I want Steph Curry." You know, Steph Curry's
Right.
great. You know everything. But, you know, people don't look at the other players and watch the other players how they work out and everything. And that's why I take it after Damian Lillard because he really puts the work in off the court, and you know people don't realize he shoots just the same amount of shots just as Stephen Curry, and
Yes.
probably the same shots as Stephen Curry, and I don't know.
They
It's
just
hard-
don't go in as much.
It don't go in as much, you know. He don't have that much help like Steph, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just
But he's a very good player as well.
He's a
so
great
that's
player.
that's great. Let's hear
Yeah.
from you, Josh. Who do you emulate for your game after?
I think I would say someone like Paul George.
Paul George.
PG.
Really?
PG.
Tell us a little bit about Paul George and why.
Because I feel like he's a great scorer on 3 levels.
Facts.
He could drive it, and he can shoot the 3, and he has a really good mid range as well. So I feel like if you model games something like that, the sky's the limit.
For sure, and you know how he plays defense. You know, you got the knack for playing defense and sticking on the guy, Paul George. I mean,
Right.
them series against the Heat, he had to go up against Brown a bunch of times. So definitely, you know, a guy like that definitely suits you very well.
Wow.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear you say that. I know we tend to put a lot of emphasis on practice and working hard and playing hard. Are you guys studying the game of basketball? Because the basketball IQ is just as important as playing. Sterling, do you want to give us some advice on how important that aspect of the game is?
It's very, very, very important. Not even if you watch film, but on just a basic level, just being able to watch the game, you know, NBA games, college games, different things like that. But that was one thing, you know, through college and even now continuing through my career that I've learned is watching film of the games that I played, either if I have somebody who can record my workouts or just of me playing, so you can really see where you're deficient at and see the things that you're doing well. So, you know, okay, like what I'm working on is translating in my game, and then things that, okay, I think that I'm working on, I think that I look good on, I really don't look good on. And that's sometimes a hard pill to swallow because you have a conception of yourself and your game and how you play and what you do when you're out there on the court, when you're out there on a workout. But film never lies. That eagle in the eye
So true.
don't ever lie.
Eye-opening.
So being able to, you know, watch that film and become more of a student of the game, it allows you to, for one, the game to slow down for you, and then it gives other people who respect you more. Because when you're like, oh, no, yeah, I already watched the clip, or you go into your practice and coach is like, you know, I'm going to, and you can regurgitate at that moment in time when you were in, or even if you weren't in, watching your other guys and the other teams, being able to digest that. So it only makes your game, it makes you more of a well-renowned and overall better basketball player. So definitely being able to watch film. But even if you're like, okay, well, I don't really have nobody recording my games or my workouts and stuff, just watch the game of basketball. Because if you can watch the game of basketball and you understand players and, you know, the concept of what basketball is, because basketball is always the same, but there are certain things within basketball that'll change in the styles of play. So if you can know those styles of playing, where the game is going to, it allows you, okay, what I need to work on, what are coaches looking for, what are this looking for, what is that? And then obviously next level is watching yourself and being realistic with yourself, and it allows you to achieve your goals and make you more of a overall better basketball player.
And I know that's something both of you have heard before, because his father was also a former national basketball player, and so is his father, a former national basketball player. So these are things that I know your dads have been telling you all, right, Joshua? I know your dad's been telling you.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure your dad has told you as well.
Definitely.
The importance of learning the game and studying the game. The great Kobe Bryant, that was his whole book was about that.
For sure,
Studying
that book
his
was
opponent.
amazing.
It was amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. I know we didn't talk about China. Let's get to that, because I want to talk about the culture shift for you. How did you adjust to that? And of course, the language barrier. How did that work for you?
Yeah, so over in I stayed in. Well, I'll ask y'all a quick question. So, how many people do y'all think was in the province that I stayed in? So, basically, the province is like the state, and then you got the city. So, how many people?
The Providence
How many
Of
people
China
y'all think?
alone.
of China.
Nah, just
like,
like my
where you
city.
were?
My city
Yeah.
was Chengdu, and the city I was in was the city I was in was Chengdu. The province was Sichuan. So, how many people you think was in Sichuan?
Probably millions.
I'll give it about maybe 10 million.
Okay.
Well, China's huge. I'm just saying millions.
You got to say a number. You got to put a number behind it.
2 million. I'll put 2 million up.
I'll put about 5 million.
Okay, so in the Providence alone is 80 million.
Wow.
In my city, it was 16.2 million.
Yeah.
So it's very, it's very, very, big, and know, and just, just a mass of people, in one area. And like one thing about China, they don't build they build up. Everything is just up because they need to, because they run out of space. And like there's one thing that they have like land, and there's like complete full cities made and nobody's inhabited it. So once the population in a certain town or area gets a certain thing, they'll transition like the next group of people to that ghost city, and then they'll start developing that city. But the biggest thing about China that makes it so unique and special is it's like night and day from anywhere else. Okay. So like that's kind of like the cool thing about it, but that's what makes it hard as well, because it's completely different. Right. But so with me over there, I had two translators. I had a translator for my day-to-day, activities and stuff, just, getting around the city and get me from practice, and if I need to go to the store to grab this. And then I had a coach translator who was kind of like on staff. So like during practice, he would kind of be translating all the plays and different things of what the coach was saying. And then off the court, I had my off-the-court translator that was pretty much with me almost like 24/7. As soon as I left my hotel, he was there picking me up, taking me where I need to go, and then getting me to the facilities. And then once I got on the court, then it was kind of the other guy who would kind of take over. So that would help me. That really made things a lot more easier. So in my city in Chengdu, they're known for spicy food. And it's funny, the King of Wings, the guy, he had emulated one of the wings that they do over in the Sichuan Chengdu area. And he said he had studied culinary school over in China. But they're very, very, very known for spicy food. So what they do is it's almost like a table like this. And it's like a nice round table, and then there's a pot in the middle of the round table, and there's like burners under, and they'll just really pretty much take a pot, put hot water in there, and put a bunch of spices.
Cook it yourself?
Yeah, you just kind of cook it yourself. And they bring out all different types of...
You don't like that?
No, I like that.
Okay.
I mess with that.
It might...
And sometimes it hit.
Yeah.
It sounds like it took you some time to adjust to that.
For sure.
You like spicy?
Nah, I mean, I like spicy, but like the spices they put in is just like on a whole nother level. On a whole nother level. And it's like this all in one pot. I mean, they're bringing out all different types of food. I mean, I've seen food that I never know that you could actually eat. I mean, there was like this one bowl, and it was just blood. It was like, yeah. And you just like take the blood out of the bowl and you cook it in the pot. And it was like kind of like hard. It was like a block, almost like a gelatin type block. You put it in there. I did not try that. They brought out brain. There was one time they brought out a fish. And this was at this little restaurant. They had brought out a fish, and the fish was so fresh that his muscle memory is still moving. So the chef had to put like a knife or like a fork over the fish so it would stop moving, and then we put it in the pot.
Difference in culture.
Yeah, so it was definitely
an experience.
Yeah. It was.
And I'm all up for trying new things. I love trying the different foods in the different cultures. But yeah, that one will take me back a bit.
You said brain. What brain?
I don't know. It was some type of small animal. I'm not for sure what it was, but it was like they just brought out a little bowl. Yeah, could have been or something. It was just like some type of small animal, and
I ain't eat no brain.
It was. I was like, man, this is very, very authentic. But it's cool, just to be able to experience something like whether I ate it or not. Just being able to say, I was able to be a part of something like that. And they're very big on their culture and what they do. And it's like them a kind of, I wouldn't say them above all, but they just, they take care of theirs, and they're about theirs. So, they just want to be able to show their culture and show it to you, and how much they're appreciative of it. And being able to experience that and being open-minded to it allows you to give a different perspective on life, so walks of life.
How long were you there for?
About 5 months.
5 months. Okay. I was going to ask you, do you speak any Chinese?
A little bit. So like, hi is ni hao, thank you is xie xie, and then we always say ja. That means like let's go. So like that was kind of the 3 words that I can remember off the top of my head. But one thing about basketball is universal. So once you kind of get on the court and understand what your assignment is, it doesn't really matter what the coach is yelling different things. Okay, I need to be in this spot. They're calling out this play. We got this hand signal. And a lot of Chinese basketball players knew a lot of basketball words, so I didn't have to really speak those in Chinese or anything like that.
Awesome.
How many languages did Kobe learn? He had like 8, right?
I knew he knew
7.
It's 7.
Yeah, I know off the top of my head he knew Italian, Spanish, English, and I'm not for sure if he knew Chinese at all. But I know that
I heard it was fluent too.
Yeah, he's definitely fluent.
Remember he spoke. I remember this story where he learned his opponent's language just so he could torture him.
I remember that. It was in Olympics. It was in Olympics.
The Olympics, I think it was, yeah.
And he was talking at the line with the dude shooting the free throw.
Right.
Kobe was one of a kind, man. And that's the one thing, in reading this book and stuff, Kobe tried to emulate worldly things so it can translate to the basketball court as well. So it made him just social savant. But he was just very anal and almost like a mastermind with it.
Yeah, he's a bit different. Not everybody will be like that, and very few people are like that.
Can master that type of level.
Exactly. It's a different type of level there. How could playing in China help you achieve your objective in playing in the NBA, you think?
I think the biggest thing is over, in China, when they bring you over as an import, they think you're very overly better than the players there. That's why they bring you over there to make their team better. So when you're playing like college ball and you play with a lot of high-level players, you kind of have a role for each team. It's like as a point guard, I need to control the pace. I need to make sure I get my guys involved. As a big, I sit in a dunker spot, I rebound hard, I run the floor, and I get dunks and different things like that. It kind of just puts you in that role. You do that role great, you're great for that team. Over in China, you can't do that.
Right.
As an import, it's not their job to get your game off. It's your job to get your game off and do what you do best, and then on top of that, make them better, make them rise above their gifts and their talents that they already have. So it forces you to become more of a all-around player where, okay, I have to score at 3 levels, have to be able to pass, I have to decision make, and then for me as a big, I had to control whether if the other team played basketball on the defensive end, with still being a high-level player on the offensive end. I can't just sit in a darker spot. I might never touch the ball because the Chinese player can't make that read or can't pass it down. In a pick and roll, I might only get a pick and roll once or twice the whole game.
Okay.
So they're tossing to me at the top of the wing or, in a dunker spot, but 10 feet away from the basket. So what are you going to do? If a double team comes, can you see the opposite guy? Can you hit the open man? Can you get to the basket? Chinese players were very reactive.
Okay.
So with them being very reactive on the defensive end, it made you have to be smart. But if you didn't play smart, then they can trap you and you can turn the ball over and you can look like you don't have an IQ of the game. So just using that against them, but it allowed me to grow my game so much more. Whereas in Carolina or even with the Bulls and stuff, it's like, hey, if I run the floor and I set a good screen, or I look up, they throwing the lob. It's easier. But over there, you had to be more of a overall well-run basketball player.
Sounds good. Josh, we haven't heard from you and your experience at San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your experience in San Jose. And also, I know you played for Oklahoma. So you tell us a little bit about that experience and when you transitioned into San Jose. What was that experience like for you?
It started off at Oklahoma. I skipped my senior year of high school and went to OU early as a redshirt year. And that was pretty good. I played with a lot of high-level players day in and day out. For example, Alanis Williams right now, who's on the Brooklyn Nets, on the two-way. And Austin Reeves on the Lakers right now. So playing with those guys was pretty good. Playing with everybody, actually. I still have great friends from there and just learn about everybody and how they came to come to Oklahoma. Like, everyone's different. Some came from JUCO, some were top 10 in the country. So everybody came together, and that was a pretty great team, I think. Also played with Brady Manick, who played at Sterling's old school last year. So I mean,
hence the smirk. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of great players that I played with. I learned a lot from them, day in and day out. Coach Kruger was a really great coach. Even though he retired one year, I still feel like I learned a lot just about the whole coaching system and just how different coaches are and how he works per se compared to, let's say, the coach in San Jose State. And everybody has their own way and how they want to play basketball and how they think winning.
Yeah. Tell us about that particular experience with you and in Oklahoma where your coach that recruited you retired, but the new coach that came in. Tell us a little bit about that experience, if you don't mind talking about that for us.
Yeah.
Because many kids here who are going to get that opportunity sometime may have that experience as well. Yeah. So it's good if they hear from you and how you handled that experience mentally.
Yeah. So it's like, I skipped my senior year early to come play for Oklahoma. And then, I was upset. He told the whole team that he's retiring. And the crazy thing is, we didn't really find out from him first because somebody else leaked it before he could tell us.
Okay.
So we all found out on Twitter. And then we found on Twitter,
it
just went around, and then it was just a whole thing. So then he came out like a couple hours later and told us that he was retiring, and I was upset because I was like, how am I going to skip my senior year, come here early, and now you're going to retire? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? But then I got over it, he said he wanted to spend time with his family, and, he's getting up there in age, so I can't really get mad at him for that. Okay. I understood where he was coming from, and that's his choice. So you can't knock him or anything. He's still a great coach. He just got, I think, inducted to the Hall of Fame, so that's pretty cool.
But a new coach came in.
And then the new coach came in, and, that process is different. Especially if you're a redshirt like me, you don't really play because you're a redshirt. So it's like he wants his own guys in and his own recruits in. So it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to be in a situation where it's like you're just tolerated to be there.
Right.
It's not fun for anybody. So it's kind of like he didn't say particularly leave, we don't want you, but it's like we'll tolerate you, but
I didn't recruit you, so I'm
not. So we're not a priority, which is okay because I don't, it's just how the world works.
Is that what you thought when that happened to you at the time? Or
Oh no, I was mad. No,
of course.
I was really mad, but at the end of it, everything happens for a reason. God has allowed things to happen in certain ways, so I route stuff up to Oklahoma, went to San Jose State, and San Jose State and Oklahoma are two different types of colleges. Oklahoma is more, I'm not going to say old-fashioned, but it's a college town, so like everywhere you go, it's Oklahoma, OU flags there, OU flags everywhere. It's school pride and school spirit. Right. And when I go to San Jose State, it's it's in the city, so it's like middle of a city. I'm not saying there's still school's pride and school spirit, but it's not the same. This year it's similar like Justin's San Jose State. It was like one of the worst years record wise.
For your school?
For my school, San Jose State, but
that's you and Justin have something in common.
I know, we have something in common, but it's all a learning experience. You learn how to win some, how to lose some, what you did wrong, what you did right. Same thing with film. What you guys were saying, like, I think film really helps. You get to watch your bad games and your good games, especially like in film sessions, because you have like particular slots for just film sessions where you don't practice, you just watch film, and you just sit there with the coach. Whether it's individually or it's with the team, and they go through all the mistakes you made, whether it's the game or practice.
Okay. So
I feel like those things really, build a team. And we had a lot of ups and downs. San Jose State. People got hurt, people got COVID. It was just
you experienced that
just
as well.
One of those, just one of those situations that you can only go up from.
Yeah. Most definitely. And what about you? Did you experience a lot of those things too with your team, injuries and COVID?
Yes, definitely. Like I was saying, like we had, because we're based in Los Angeles, so it hit us hard,
very
super hard out there. And where my school was in the area, it's like close to the community and everything, because it's a community-based school. So I think. A lot of us as, me and Josh could say, like, a lot of us as student athletes, you have practice, then it came around, COVID hit us, like, boom, like, oh, my gosh, like, what's going on? You didn't even want to go outside or nothing. So then it's like, here comes the test every day, like, and it's just annoying, the process of it all. But, like, you got to get through it, and everything. And everything's happened for a reason. Now, sadly, that happened, I think COVID really changed a lot in a lot of programs. I could also say that COVID really helped a lot of programs, and I could also say COVID really helped a lot of us student athletes by giving us, for me, it gave me another whole extra year.
Right.
So I have 3 more years of eligibility as I stay at Cal State LA. So but other than that, like I said, the downfall of it, we had injuries, people caught COVID. I even caught COVID like towards the end, like after season. So that was a blessing, but it happens, and I'm just glad that everyone got through it. So yeah.
Sounds good. I know you can. Can you give these two gentlemen some advice on how to handle some of the down moments, the things that are, for example, the things that Joshua experienced and he's probably experiencing now that you guys may have spoken about off the mic. Just some advice on how to handle the hard pressure, the hard times as they're in college.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about college is at the end of the day, all coaches, they want to be able to win.
Yes.
So, they're going to put guys out there that they feel like can win, have their system, but they all have agendas as well, too. Some at smaller school colleges, coaches may be trying to, upgrade and go to a higher school. At bigger universities, they might be trying to change a certain amount of wins and stuff like that. But as a player, you have to find your fit, what's conducive for you, and then kind of sticking with that. And then even if you're not playing at a university and you've kind of exhausted all your options, you might need to go somewhere else. Don't just get stuck in the system and be like, well, because I'm at a high major school or I'm just it's comfortable and I kind of got my two-step, I'm just going to stay here and ride it out. That doesn't do anything for you. You don't really get better without playing. Yes, you have to work on your game and you have to, get in the weight room and do all those type of things. But by you being able to play on the court, it progresses your game and allows you to be seen and have an exposure. So the biggest thing is never get discouraged of your situation. Be realistic with yourself. Always constantly have self-reflection. Sit in your own thoughts and don't be scared to, either ask questions, but being able to, like I said, it comes with watching a film and being, a student of the game. So, okay, like, am I really out here doing this or am I kind of like not really doing what I need to do? And being able to be self-reflecting of yourself as a player, as a person, and then being able to apply it. Now, if you clearly see like, man, the odds and the cards are stacked against me, coach for whatever reason that has an agenda that doesn't evolve me into it anytime soon, you need to move on and you need to exhaust.
And they should not be afraid to move on.
Not be afraid at all and not feel bad about it.
Even if you're transferring to like a second or a third school?
For sure. You definitely, because at the end of the day, you want to find the fits best for you. And then at the same time, you don't want to, I wouldn't say ever run away from adversity, but there's a lot of times out there where you can, especially, at the high major schools and the high levels in any school, they're always they're going to recruit. They're going to find that next point guard or that next big or whatever.
It's a business.
So it's a business. You're replaceable. So you have to know that. And you have to be like, okay, if I'm laid my groundwork and I kind of got a steady situation, okay, I'm cool. But if you're in that constant conjury of like, well, I'm kind of playing, then he's kind of quitting on me, and I'm kind of playing, and there's no stability. You need to go somewhere because you can find a home and a place where you're wanted and appreciated and where you can become your own. And the biggest thing is being able to have somebody that just even believes in you.
Right.
That goes a long way in your game and your abilities and just your whole mentals, because just as much as it's physical, your mentals go into play as well. So just having somebody that, just even whether it's an assistant coach or a head coach or just a person on staff that truly believes in you once you get better as a player, that goes a long way. But being able to self-reflect and knowing what's working for you and what's not, and that only goes with being able to watch the film and digesting your game. But the biggest thing that I can really say is never get discouraged, because you never know when that moment is coming or who's waiting around the corner that can see your game and change your life and change your circumstances.
Or who gets injured and you get that opportunity.
For sure. The opportunities are key. Like you said, with COVID and stuff, people were dropping like flies.
Right.
So you never know when your number is called, but if you get called in soaking or downing yourself, then when your number is called, you're not ready to perform. And that may be the only opportunity that you get. That's just how life works. So you always got to be ready for that moment to shine.
I really want to piggyback off of what Sterling said, because with COVID and everything, like, and injuries, that's literally our whole situation in my last season. Like, dudes was just dropping like flies and everything. And don't get me wrong, we had a great team, and my number was called.
Right.
I mean, it's like, it's nerve-wracking, obviously, because, like, hey, he called my number. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. It's go time. So, it hits you like that. It's like a train. It just comes at you fast. And, you just got to soak in the opportunity and really shine, like actually do something. Like, because that's your shot.
Right.
That's just your sign to do it. And then also, like, piggybacking off what also Sterling said, it's a business.
Right.
A coach has a certain number of seasons to accomplish what he has at that college or whatever university, and if not, he's gone just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, He's gonna. I don't. Sometimes, that was me at one point. I was getting discouraged, like Sterling said. I was getting discouraged and everything. Then it came to the point in time when I just looked in the mirror and said, "All right, I'm just gonna have fun. Just have fun with it." You can't be discouraged all the time mentally, because I said it's all mental. It's really all mental in basketball. And to be honest, if you don't have fun playing the game, then you're just hurting yourself mentally, really, and it's going to really hurt you in the long run, because then you're gonna be. And here comes frustration.
Right.
And I know a lot of players like myself. I mean, when I get frustrated, that's when you really go hard. You
get down on yourself.
Get down on yourself, and then you're just doing everything you want or whatever. You're not listening. There's a lot of players like that out there. But like I say, you just can't get down on yourself, like Sterling said. Just keep working hard.
I like that. All right. Any last words before we head out?
I want to ask y'all a question. I had an argument about this with, a person I respect in my life, Heavenly. But what's y'all's top 5 all time?
Kobe. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, go right ahead.
Top 5?
Is this in order? Actually, it don't even have to be in order. It's just,
okay.
Your point guard, your shooting guard, your small forward, your
I gotta write this one down.
Like if I was to make an all-time top 5.
Your team. Like if you this starting 5 ain't nobody
messing with the start 5.
Yes,
it's over. Let me just go off the back right now.
Okay.
PG. Ooh.
If you don't have
how you gonna say
confidence?
Wait. First of all, if either of you don't have Kobe in there, I'm upset and I'm throwing y'all out. Just
he said small forward, so I gotta think now. Hold on. You got PG.
I'm biased.
All right, PG. Steph.
Okay.
You gotta have Steph in it. Greatest shooter all time, Steph. 1. 2. A lot of people gonna hate me for this. I'm putting MJ up there. MJ gotta be there.
Okay.
And see, it was between MJ or Kobe. All respect to Kobe, but I gotta put MJ. MJ, 3rd. Wow, 3rd. I'm gonna have to put LeBron. Gotta put LeBron. 3rd. Actually, no. Sorry. All respect to LeBron. I'm putting Kevin Durant. Because that man is an all-around player, and nobody can guard Kevin Durant. And you put Kevin Durant in that day and age, you're not stopping him.
Okay.
So that's 3, Kevin Durant. 4. 4th one gonna be tough. I would say AD, but he like glass. I'm gonna have to go with your boy Sterling, KG.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with KG.
Okay.
KG up there. He was unstoppable. 5th, I'm gonna go with Shaq. Feed the ball and that's it. Feed the ball and that's over.
Swept by my team.
Yeah, I gotta hear this.
At 1, I'm gonna go Michael Jordan. Hear me out, because at 2 I'm going Kobe. At 3 I'm going KD.
He said point guard.
At 4 I'm going. What's his name? LeBron. And at 5, I never seen him play. But I'm going Bill Russell.
Bill Russell?
Yep. And we're taking it.
Listen to me.
Okay. So at PG, I'm going Magic Johnson. At the 2 guard, I'm going MJ. At the 3, I'm going Bron. At the 4, I'm going Hakeem. And at the 5, I'm going Will. Y'all not messing with that.
That Will kind of tough.
Where's KD?
What? I don't need KD.
Where's KD?
KD go forward.
Who's gonna guard KD on my team? LeBron?
You say KD?
Yeah, I did say KD. Come on, bro.
Hold on, bro.
Come on, bro.
And mine is Kobe, Iverson, KD, Tim, and Shaq.
You getting swept. I'm sorry.
I am not getting swept.
Hey, it's just about
Kobe alone would lick up your guys. Come on now.
I'm not gonna lie.
Wait a minute. Was Damian Lillard in there? Was Damian Lillard in there? I didn't hear Damian Lillard.
This isn't worse, because he said...
All right, let me tell you why I put Steph. One, Steph, you got to pick him up full court, and you got to run him off of everything.
Who's Steph going to guard? Magic Johnson?
Yes.
Michael Jordan?
Is Magic Johnson shooting like that?
He doesn't need to.
Michael Jordan could shoot
with the ball.
It was good.
It's all about help side, right? It's all about team effort.
But
who's he going to guard on defense? Who's he going to guard?
Who?
Stephen Curry.
Magic Johnson. Who's your one?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, I mean, it's iffy there.
And I'm gonna pick Larry Bird before I go with KD.
I don't know about that, bro.
When KD wins a real championship, I'm the real champion. When
What is KD gonna do?
Bro, when KD wins a real championship,
That's crazy.
I give him the respect he deserves. He's a
goes to
great
the
all-around
champion.
player.
Here's what, though. We can continue this discussion off air, but in the meantime, we're going to end the show. That's it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All the best. Have fun here in the Cayman Islands. Guys, hopefully we can do something like this again when you guys visit. If you have the opportunity, or if you would like the opportunity to be a part of our show, please feel free to email us at sportsextracayman@gmail.com. You can also check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra Facebook page just to keep abreast of all the sporting activities that's happening here on island, or Radio Cayman's YouTube channel for, of course, this edition here of Sports Extra. I'm Dion Anglin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, and God bless.
Larry